Welcome to No Quit, the podcast where real business isn't filtered. I'm Jeff Leschere, founder of Fleur de Lis Law and Title. I've built an 8-figure company, but not without setbacks, burnouts, and moments that nearly broke me. This podcast is where I tell the truth about what it really takes to grow something that lasts. The wins, the losses, and the grit in between. If you're in it for more than just the highlight reel, you're in the right place. The stories shared on this podcast are based on real experiences, but details have been changed or generalized to protect client confidentiality. This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Listening to this podcast does not create an attorney-client relationship. Hello, everybody. Welcome again to the No Quit podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Leschere, and today we have Miles Sinagra. That's right.
Yes, sir.
As a guy with a difficult last name, I'm always trying to be conscious of how to pronounce it because I know you probably dealt with the same that I dealt with growing up with Leschere. So yeah, man. So we all kind of know you vaguely as the new up and coming thing in milk. But give me a little background on you. Give me kind of the 60-second version of where Miles came from, and then we'll dig in deeper to the milk.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here. So I grew up in Amite, Louisiana on my family's dairy farm. I was homeschooled. When I graduated from high school, I moved to New York City for college. I kind of wanted to see if I could make it in New York. I fell in love with a school up there. My dad jokes that I wanted to get as far away from the farm so he couldn't call me at 4 a.m. to come milk the cows when he was in a bond.
I bet for y'all.
Yes, exactly. So I graduated in 2022 with a degree in politics, philosophy, and economics. I kind of thought I was going to go to law school after.
Wow.
Thought I got what I thought was my dream job, working at a think tank in Manhattan, and I ended up hating it. And I called my dad one day and I said, I want to move home and start selling milk direct to consumer. And then I moved home, and for about the past 2 years, I've been working on that.
Man, I had no idea. That's really kind of an amazing run already. I mean, how old are you?
26.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that just to have made the leap from, a meat dairy farm to Manhattan. I mean, it's a scary sight. We go to New York for vacation. It's like so intimidating. And I mean, how often did you visit before you decided to go to school there?
I visited one time.
And then just went up there and got dropped off and
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
man.
Definitely culture shock. For the first probably 3 or 4 months were tough. I lived in Brooklyn. The school's in Manhattan, so taking the subway to Manhattan every day. I mean, you see some sights, in Brooklyn on the subway, and little me, 18-year-old.
I mean, really, it's like country mouse going to the big city.
Absolutely,
huh?
yeah.
Wow. And your degree is in what again?
Politics, philosophy, and economics.
Man, and so the think tank thing. I mean, what was it you didn't like about it? I guess.
Yeah, so I loved the work that I was doing, but I didn't like the culture. It was very pretentious, kind of,
I can see that. Yeah.
Thinks they're better than everyone, sort of deal. I mean,
look, you're in Manhattan. You are better than a lot of people.
That's what they thought for sure. And like 6 months in, I realized that wasn't the life that I wanted to live, and so I wanted to move back home and kind of do something more with where I was from.
Well, I mean, right off the bat, then you've already kind of touched on sort of the premise, here with the No Quit podcast. What I'm hoping is to touch on some adversity that maybe people can hear in your story, and not just, hey, I overcame it, but, relate to it a little bit. I mean, and so, you move there, you get your degree, you go get the dream job that you kind of wanted to have the courage at 6 months to realize it and then make the move off of it. Because so many people would get stuck there. Like, what was that like? How'd you do that?
Yeah. I mean, just being in New York is tough. Like, people love New York, but it can beat you up too.
Yeah.
So the 5 years that I was there were probably the most formative 5 years of my life. Like, I grew a ton in that time. But I just had a realization. I actually went with some friends on a trip to Norway. And on that trip, I just did a lot of reflecting, and I said, I'm quitting my job when I get back to the city. Because I realized that I don't know what happened on that trip, and just talking with friends and just talking about what kind of life I want to have. It was just a kind of light bulb moment for me that the job in New York wasn't something hard that I just could press through. It was something different from what I wanted in my life,
Well, it's interesting that you say it's your formative years, because you still, at least in the little bit we've spoken today and we just met, but you still, to me, relate like a guy from down here in the South, right? It's like you haven't lost that, easiness and the charm there. When I was in high school, there was a song, and I forget the name of it, but there was a part in it that said you should live in, New York for a year at least, and leave before it makes you too hard.
Oh, yeah.
And then live in California for a year, but leave before it makes you too soft, kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
Did you feel like New York kind of hardened you?
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. But I think in a good way. I think kind of like the iron sharpens iron, especially the friends that I went to school with.
Yeah.
It was the friendships that I made there really were strengthening. And I still talk to those guys today. So it definitely built, I think, a foundation. I get so angry. I just had a conversation with someone the other day. Someone basically said I wasted time going to New York and getting that degree to come back and run a dairy farm and sell milk. And I couldn't disagree more.
Definitely not.
I think it was it formed me to who I am to be able to run the business that I'm running.
I think that's probably somebody who's never made that sort of leap. Because just from a personal standpoint, I only went off for one semester to live in Nebraska for a while. But that span of time where there's no one else to count on but you, right? You sort of find yourself and what you're capable of. And as a parent now, it's almost difficult because you want to push your kids out there, but you don't want them to, you got to let them fail, but you don't want to let them fail. You want them close to you and want to be safe, but like you sort of to wonder, like, what are they going to be made of if they haven't gone off and done that sort of thing?
And my parents sometimes will say, like, I'm sorry, I feel like we didn't prepare you for when you moved to New York, but I'm like, it's not your fault. You didn't know how to prepare me. I didn't know.
Were they all for
either.
it when you decided to go?
They were very supportive. I think they were, of course, kind of nervous, cautious. What is he doing? But when I moved up there, they came with me and they visited the school and stuff and saw the people in the community.
One time,
yeah, that's it. Dropped me off in August of 2018 or whatever, and I think they were nervous too, for sure, but. I think they realized that it was definitely a good decision.
Do you have siblings?
I have one sister, yes.
Okay, older or younger?
2 years younger.
Yeah, okay.
She's in occupational therapy school in Shreveport.
So you're the oldest child, and I know how we were with our oldest. Like that's the one you're dug into. It's the first experience. So man, it had to be hard for your mom to let you go, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think she hid some of that, but from what I've heard from my sister and stuff, I think the first few months of me being in New York were
good
tough.
for them to like support you though and send you off, because I bet it was life changing, not just in the time you spent there, but you say you're still close with those friends. And they're probably scattered all over. Or are they all back in?
Most of them are still in New York, but kind of scattered a little bit too.
Yeah, and I just got to touch on it because oddly enough, one of my few close friends still from when I went off to play soccer for a little while is from Norway. Oh. Where in Norway did you go?
We were in Oslo for a while, but we were really visiting a friend in Denmark and just popped over to Norway for a few days.
Yeah, he lives on a small island called Goudet, and so it's big fisherman village there or whatever. But Henning Dieb is his name, so good dude. But anyway,
cool.
I've never been, but one day I'm gonna make it over there. So you come back at what age?
23.
Okay, so you've only been back 3 years. Right?
Yeah.
And just went straight into the family business, or did you like test the waters in other industries before you decided
Jumped
to commit?
into this. So like 6 months into my job, I called my dad and I said I want to move home and sell milk direct to consumer.
Really?
So my parents had a farm for 25 years, but we never sold the milk ourselves. So we would ship it to places like Kleinpeter or Borden. They would process it.
Yeah.
But then, so I wanted to finish at least a year at my job just for resume's sake, show that I stayed there for a year. But we got the ball rolling and, poured a slab, built a building, all that. And then once I hit that year, I quit and moved back home and kind of jumped straight into that. I worked for a year getting all my permits and everything from the Department of Health and get licensed and all that.
Man, no offense, but I think I want to have your parents on and in a way of like trying to figure out how to, help people parent their children. They went all in, building a building and everything. Wow, my parents, I wonder. I hope they would be that good. I hope I'd be that good to my children. But I could see myself, come on back. We'll get you started, see how it goes, but not diving headfirst all in.
Yeah.
But man, you kind of committed them.
Yeah, we did. We jumped in. I mean, we built a small building and stuff. We didn't do anything crazy, but I think
you're talking about an industry that seems to me, I always hate to say, an industry that's dying. I mean, law is going to be that way with AI coming out to some degree. But I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of farms that are closing, and I know people that are in farms as far as Wisconsin in the dairy business that have shut down. And y'all are not just going all in on it, but now growing too, right? I mean,
yeah, for sure. So actually, when I was thinking about the kind of your podcast and the adversity, I thought about this
Yeah.
because so when my parents started farming in '95, there were over 1,200 dairies in the state of Louisiana. Today, I think there's 36.
wow.
So just since they've been doing it,
Good
that's like a
grief.
what 96, 97% loss, you know? And when my inspector licensed me to bottle milk, he said, this is the first one that I've licensed to start. All the other ones he's done or were, you know, licensed that were getting taken
Man,
back.
yeah.
They were closing, you know, which is just like kind of a crazy moment because so many people thought I was crazy to do this. I mean, my uncle said I was crazy to quit my job in New York and move home because it's a dying industry. It's a sinking ship. Don't do this, you know? So it absolutely is. But
So, man, what drove you then? I mean, because you had to have those thoughts running through your head, right? I mean, what was it that was the catalyst for you to be like, you know, no, this is why I can make it?
I actually saw a lot of farms in New York, in upstate New York, selling their milk in the city, selling a higher nutritional content, you know, a low
That niche
pasteurized-
luxury type
exactly,
market, huh?
yes.
Yeah.
The kind of Whole Foods, you know, holistic, the crunchy granola mom,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that's all
yeah.
about what the label says, what ingredients, you know. And
But it's a big movement. And it's usually people with money.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can afford it.
couple dollars a gallon more, you
Yeah,
know, for
yeah.
higher quality
That's right.
product.
That's right.
And I didn't see anyone doing that in Louisiana. And I believe there was kind of latent demand. Like I thought that people here would buy it if they had the option. There's just no option for that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you were dead on because as I told you before when we first met, I mean, we're not big milk drinking people, but that's the one milk that I find that we are purchasing and we're driving through town. You might be selling it right in downtown where I live now, but when it first came out, we had to drive a town over to go find it, and we were willing to do it, right? So, man, you were dead on, yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. It's been a blessing. I mean, I have a couple customers that regularly come to our farm from New Orleans. So they drive an hour and a half each way every week to come buy milk. And it's amazing.
Man. And so one of the other things we discussed too, like your new adversity now is not a bad thing, right? It's demand. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's so hard for me. Have you ever heard of HEB, the grocery stores in Texas?
Yeah.
So I got a call from a guy over there a couple days ago, and he's like, "Hey, we sell this local milk. It's great. We'd love to send a semi over to pick up milk for our stores." And I'm like, buddy, I can't do that. You know, I'm honored that he's calling me, but I can't. You know, several thousand gallons of milk fit in a semi. I'm like, I can't do that. It's like a month's supply for me. You know,
man.
So between that and just all the other stores, I have probably 20 or 25 grocery stores right now that have reached out wanting the milk. I just don't have enough to get to them.
Are you trying to grow it in that way? Or are you finding that, no, I want to stay in this nice, comfortable niche where, you know, I'm not outgrowing things?
It's tough because I'm committed to us producing all the milk on our farm. I don't want to start buying from someone else, so we can control the quality, you know, and I can be part of the process from when the calves are born all the way to that milk's getting bottled. So I don't want to get too big to where we'd have to buy from other farms. But right now our bottleneck is literally like the bottling, the equipment. So I'm working on hopefully applying for some grants and trying to get some more automated bottling equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah, you would think they have to have something like that, and the competition's very slim now since 97% have gotten out of the industry. Man, have you seen, I'm sure you have, you had to have grown in terms of employees and things like that as well, right? I mean, what are y'all up to? Like, how big are y'all now?
Well, so when we started, I mean, me and my mom were pretty much doing everything. My poor mother has been helping me from day one. So we were bottling the milk. I was delivering the milk, all that, ourselves. But now I have like 5 employees. We just had our little employee Christmas party last night, actually.
Really?
And I'm very thankful for our crew. Great crew.
But I guess when you first started, I mean, y'all were probably just within the family. So no employees at all.
No. Yeah.
So
Just
500%.
Yeah, exactly. In 18 months.
Wow, man. HEB is man, it's flattering and a big move, man. I mean,
but there's no way, you know, it's hard turning down that. Even like I've talked to the people that own Robert's in New Orleans. They would like the milk. I'd love to get to them, but I just don't have the supply.
Any of those
at the moment.
types or others have they reached out to say, hey, look, you know, maybe you're not capable of this now, but we want to invest in you and help you?
Not yet. Not yet. I would
probably coming.
Yeah, I would hope so. I need some.
So every day, what's a day look like for Miles? You get up in the morning, you having to get up at 4 or what?
Not usually. Usually we start bottling about 5.
Okay.
But
extra
like this
hour.
morning, our crew was there, so I didn't have to start. They started without me. I'm usually on the road delivering though, so I usually deliver 3 or 4 days a week. Wake up, load the trailer with the milk, hit the stores, go back to the farm, load it for the next day's deliveries.
And so, what are your friends like? I mean, they had to have thought you a little bit outside your mind.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And what do they say now?
Well,
Or are they all still waiting to make sure it happened?
Well, no, I think they're all like, all right, we were wrong, you did it. You made one of them the other day was like, you made milk sexy again, I'm like, well, I don't know if that's what I'm
doing. There's an ad campaign right there.
Yeah, right.
Man, that's incredible. So I have to ask to dig a little bit deeper into that. So you make the move back.
Yeah.
You've committed to this thing, right? I mean, the day to day, it wasn't like it was overnight. I mean, it was pretty quick. Don't get me wrong, but like, were there times where you got up in the morning and be like, I don't know if this is really going to work?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And so how did you keep pushing through to that?
I think I just had a vision, and I was going to give everything I could to try to accomplish that vision of bringing this higher quality milk to.
What would have looked like to not have achieved it? Like, at what point would you have said, I'm not making it? Did you ever think about that at all?
I did a little bit, but it wasn't there. The demand was always there.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of the effort and the work. I mean, at the beginning, I was working 16-hour days, 7 days a week, and there was a point about 6 months in, I'm like, I really don't care how much money I make. I don't know if this is worth it. Like, I loved the customers, and honestly, the customers and building those relationships is what really pushed me to keep hustling and to keep working. It wasn't a monetary thing. It was like the mom saying, oh, my kid can't drink the store-bought milk because it messes up their stomach, but they can drink your milk. That's what like rejuvenated me to keep going.
Man. Yeah, I understand what they mean by that. It was something about milk that was always, for me, like, I just never felt right after drinking it, so I always kind of steered off of, didn't eat cereal, things like that. But so I definitely understand, and I know that these days, it's so much easier because, I guess in one sense, because families can, go online and search and find other people talking about it. So, I mean, I'm assuming there's been a big part of your growth, from not just typical word of mouth, but people posting online or Facebook or, whatever it might be. I mean, you've got to have a pretty big sort of grassroots following now, right?
Yes, our following has been incredible.
Yeah. And with that comes haters too, I'm sure.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, of course.
What is it they hate about you?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out,
Oh, they trying to give you, people are talking all this hype, but it's not, true. Do you ever get that? Do you get people not believing that it's as natural as it is or as good for you as it is?
For sure. So, I mean, just using the raw milk for an example. So, we sell a low temperature pasteurized milk and then an unpasteurized raw milk.
Okay.
So I have some people that are real haters with the raw milk.
What is it? I mean, because explain that, I guess, to me, because I'm just trusting my wife when she say, "Hey, we're drinking this."
Yeah, for sure. So actually, when I moved back home, I reached out to State Representative Kim Coates.
Okay.
Kim.
I grew up with Kim. Yeah.
Okay, she's fantastic. Helped the farmers a ton. But I worked with her on a bill to legalize raw milk in Louisiana.
So it wasn't even legal?
It was illegal.
Really?
So it was illegal to sell unpasteurized milk, which is another thing when I moved home I wanted to fight for, because Louisiana was one of 4 states where it was still illegal. It was
one of those deals where the industry has made it illegal to kind of help.
That's what I think. I think kind of big milk, kept. So that's why I think a lot of farms went out, because those farmers couldn't sell the milk themselves. They had to ship it. So it was illegal for my dad to sell you a gallon of unpasteurized milk.
So it's monopolized at that point, yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I thought that was ridiculous. I could buy raw milk in New York and I couldn't sell it in Louisiana. So when I came back, I was like, I want to do everything I can to change that.
Yeah.
So I worked with State Representative Coates, and we got a bill passed and went into effect August of 2024.
Really?
To sell unpasteurized raw milk.
Great, man. Yeah. And so I guess it's just that much healthier for you because Is there less being added to it, or is it just stuff that's being taken out of it? What makes it great?
Yeah. So legally, and now they amended the bill that we initially worked on. So legally, it has to be sold for pet consumption.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say people, if you feed
Is there something on the label for that?
Yes,
yeah,
it says warning, not for human consumption. Blah 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 blah.
Like peptides these days, who everybody's saying peptide.
Exactly. But especially with the raw milk, because it has all of the enzymes and the probiotics in it, it's a lot easier for your body to digest it. So those enzymes are killed at higher temperatures through the commercial pasteurization. Those enzymes are still alive and active with the unpasteurized milk.
Okay.
So your body can absorb the nutrients better, and also it's just easier for your body to digest.
Well, is that an ongoing fight for you as well to battle back on the legal side of things and get that law changed again?
Yes, absolutely. It was tough. And even just like a few months ago, the health department came down and said all the raw milk in the grocery stores needs to be in separate coolers. So then we're having to buy separate coolers and put it in separate coolers. And Kim is meeting with people at LDH and always having, because.
So you really need a lobby behind you now because that's what you're up against. Probably.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, because Big Milk, in my opinion, views us as taking away their sales. We're not having to ship it to them to process. We're just cutting them out and selling direct to consumer. And, and they have a lot deeper pockets than we do.
Wow. I wonder if that's similar in any way to the guys that start, like Gnarly Barley locally.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's faced that with the big, beer companies of the world and some of those other places. My daughter works for Senator Bill Wheat at the state level. And so she's got really interested in that. And it's gotten us interested to hear all the kind of ongoings behind the scenes sort of thing. But she hasn't talked about that part of it yet. I'm going to have to ask her kind of, what she's hearing and
about
anything
the milk
that we can relay back to you there. But
sure.
That is crazy that people can get that involved to change it from a legal perspective. I say crazy. I mean, I'm in that world as an attorney, but it's sad to some degree too, You can't just outright compete. You got to change the rules of the game to put somebody out. Yeah. That's got to be a lot of daunting adversity right there to get up knowing that you've got to face, these big conglomerates with lobbyists and all these other things. I mean,
I testified at the Capitol, in support of our bill legalizing it. I mean, I spent hours and hours working on the bill with Kim and some other lawyers and biologists working on it. And, it was tough testifying for it and knowing that the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Health, these people were kind of there against it, So it's like, it's hard to stand up to those guys.
So they're hammering you like when we watch the Senate hearings at the federal level. They just coming at you like that.
Really going at Kim Coates.
Really?
Yeah, because she spearheaded the bill.
That's good at least. I'd hate to hear because that was my next question. Is like, are you seeing anything in your personal life get affected from it? Nobody's coming after you in that way.
Not so far, thankfully. Yeah.
It's just nuts. So where does it go from here? Like, what's next on the agenda? Just continue to try to slowly grow and handle that growth, or
that's the goal. I'm trying to expand for sure. So right now, some of our milk is still being shipped off to the other processors. So my goal in 2026 is to get to the point where we're bottling and selling all of the milk on our farm. So I'm at about 60% right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get to that 100%.
Does it ever get to the point then once you got to 100%, you start to grow that so you can, I say save, but like there's got to be other small producers, farms in the area that are looking at what you're doing and saying, hey, help us survive, right?
I have thought about that because I would like to. It's so tough because, like I said before, I want to use our milk, not others, because we can control the quality. But at the same time, if we do get big enough, I'd love to be able to lend a hand to these other farmers that would otherwise have to go out of business because they're not getting paid enough for their milk. So I'd love to come in and be able to pay them a premium for premium milk, in order to help them stay doing what they love too.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be headed that direction. I mean, I correct me if I'm wrong, but if you talk to the grocery stores that you are delivering to now, I mean, it seems to me it flies off the shelf pretty quick.
It does. The manager at Bonings called me this morning. He's like, "Yep, they told me to let you know your inventory. You're out." Which is a blessing. It really is. It's a blessing, and the stores just keep. That's why I haven't taken on more stores because the stores I have keep increasing their orders, which is great. But
so, how far away do you deliver?
So probably the farthest right now would be Denham Springs, Walker area to Carter's supermarkets.
And how far does a customer drive to you? So some guys from New Orleans are coming up.
Yeah, I mean, I had somebody the other day come from Grand Isle. So
Wow.
about 3 hours to the farm.
Just an
each way.
individual, or like
yeah,
a
just an
store?
individual.
Okay. So people can just drive up there and like purchase it directly from
Yeah,
y'all.
we're open at the farm 2 days a week, Mondays and Thursdays, and people can come up there, check
Where in
it out.
Amite is it at?
We're really between Amite and Franklinton.
Okay.
So off Highway 16.
16?
Yep.
Okay.
Right between Amite and Franklinton.
Wow. And your parents just decided to get into dairy farming in 95? Or
So this is all my dad's done. He actually milked for a guy in high school in Husser, if you know where that's at.
Oh, yeah.
Driving a 3-wheeler, before school at 4 a.m. to go milk and then go to school. And so he did that. He's done that his whole life. And then he bought the place that we're in now in 95.
Man, so it must be blowing their minds that you came in and like helped it grow like this.
I think so. Because they've never done this side of it.
Mhm.
They've done the farming thing their whole lives, but have never done the direct to consumer, selling it.
And is this just like taking over your whole life, or do you have any other hobbies you get to take part in outside of this?
Oh, not really.
This is it, huh?
Milk is my life right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Someone asked me the other day, they're like, what do you like to do outside of milk? I'm thinking, like, what do I do outside of milk? Not much, but it's okay. I enjoy really investing in the business and helping it grow.
And so for people that are listening out there, I mean, it seems to me that, maybe it's the youth. You've taken this all in such stride. It seems like, not to say it wasn't hard, but there's an optimism about you. It doesn't seem like you really view all these adversities you've overcome as having been difficult. More or less, it seems to me like just problems that you had to get past. I mean, what would you tell someone that, is listening out there in terms of like, honestly, just the career shift?
Yeah.
That seems to me to be the biggest step of them all.
Yeah.
And once you're in, and you got to get through the day. But like for people that are trying to figure out what it is they want to do with their life, what would you say to them? I'm just curious.
I don't know if this is good advice or not, but kind of go with your gut and don't listen to people.
Yeah.
Because some of the people I respected the most were the ones that tried to talk me out of this because it wasn't the safe option.
Mm-hmm. So they were doing it out of safety
love,
for you.
Love,
absolutely.
Yeah. Like, uncle, grandpa, other people in the business world they respected thought I was crazy, and even some friends thought I was crazy. You have this good job, it's safe, 9 to 5, you get great PTO, you're
and then you wake up and you're 40 something and you're like, I just pissed away 20 years of my life.
And then you regret. And I'm like, you know what? I'm single. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. If I try this and I go bankrupt, then I'll go do the 9 to 5. But right now I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to do it because I'm going to live the rest of my life wondering.
Yeah, regret.
What if?
Yeah.
What if?
Regret not having taken that chance. Oh, man, I had no idea when Carrie Harper had mentioned having you on the podcast. I had no idea the background there and that story. It's really kind of amazing. It's impressive. It's inspiring. Doesn't make me necessarily want to shut down the law practice today, but it's close.
Come milk some cows.
The only thing keeping me from it is I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I like getting up early in the morning, but I don't know about getting up early in the morning in the cold.
Yeah, that's the worst.
To get out in the weather and milk cows or anything. But man, it's a great story. I wish you all the success. I know we love it. It's hard to find, to get to it, which is a great problem to have. But I don't know if there's a worry for me. It's that you're going to be forced to grow so fast. It's just be like, how do you keep telling people no?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's so hard. That's the hardest thing when the grocery store owners call.
If they're driving to you, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, what happens when that starts to be what I envision is the scene from Field of Dreams. Cars lined up down the street, all waiting to get to your farm.
We've had that a little bit. Carrie's seen that some.
Really?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Really, that many people just showing up to buy unannounced and.
Yeah, this first day that we were selling the raw milk, Carrie came and did an interview with me and Representative Coates, and it was actually raining, and there was a line of people, probably 50 people, standing in line in the rain.
Man, that is so affirming that you're on the right track, dude. That's got to feel good every morning. It's got to keep you going, I would think.
That's what I did. That's the seeing the customers and their loyalty, kind of helps me,
Well, look, one other question I have for you. We try to ask all the guests because it's I like people's different perspectives. So I'm knowing what the podcast is about and trying to kind of overcome these adversities or whatever it might be. And I don't know if we'd mentioned this before, so I hope I'm not like springing it too much on you. But who would you, or do you have someone you would recommend that I reach out to and try to have on the show for?
I would probably say I'm good friends with Trenton Oliphant. he just opened Bento in downtown Hammond.
Oh yeah.
Right next to Luma.
Yeah, we've had it. Yeah.
Yeah. He does a great job of sourcing ingredients from local farmers.
Really?
He actually there's a little write up in maybe the Tangy Lifestyles magazine or something that he did, and he came out and took a bunch of pictures with the cows and stuff. But he does a great job with doing everything he can.
Is that how you know him? Is from him purchasing?
Yeah, he
y'all,
came
or?
to the farmers market when I was at the farmers market. He came there one day, like over a year ago, and I think he was like my first restaurant that I started selling milk to, and we've just built a great friendship since then. And he owns the depot in Independence as well, and they do a great job.
Yeah, there's something about the marketing there that felt really similar between those two places.
Yes.
Or maybe it's the EAUX.
Yeah. That's their go-to
That
thing.
must be what it is. But
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the same folks.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So we'll try to reach out to him, man. I really, really appreciate having you on. Congratulations on all the success, and I hope it keeps going. But man, just the fact that you made that leap in life. I mean, you've already won, dude.
We'll see.
So many people don't take that chance.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, I appreciate having you. It's a great story, and I wish you more continued success, man.
Well,
Thanks
I sure
for coming
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. Thanks.
Absolutely.
That's it for today's episode of No Quit. If you're still showing up, still building, still fighting, I see you. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and join me for more behind-the-scenes lessons on what it takes to keep going when most people would walk away. And remember, success isn't about getting it perfect. It's about not giving up.